Pretty good. And yourself?
Doing well, doing well. Have you been able to scrimmage anyone yet? And if so, how is that going?
No, we haven't. I think Fish is just still taking his time, trying to make sure everybody is on the same page. So we're really one day at a time.
Miriam Swanson, LA Daily News.
Hey there, Riquna. Hey, so I guess what have you seen from Kristine so far in your time together in the bubble on the court?
She's definitely determined. She worked every day with CP, so that's probably the best post she could be under, and far as elevating her game. So she's going to be great for us this year, coming off the bench and playing behind CP because she's getting better every day.
We'll go over to Tukni with the LA Times.
Hey, Riquna. So Coach Fisher's been talking a lot about the importance of building relationships going into his second season with the team. Obviously, it's a different circumstance with you guys being in the bubble, but how much time do you guys spend together as a team outside of just practice compared to normally, and how important is that outside of basketball time in terms of building those relationships?
This past Sunday, we actually had Taco Sunday. Courtney, our trainer, she's been on us still about keeping 6 feet apart, but she figured like if we're in practice going hard at each other, us hanging out and bonding and making sure everybody's on the same page wouldn't be a problem because I think off the court is really what's going to gel on the court outside of the skills, knowing each other, knowing when you can step to a person and knowing when they need just 2 or 3 minutes to regroup. I think it's going to be key for us.
We'll go back to John. John, go ahead.
Hey, Riquna, John W. Davis here. I had another question for you. The Sparks, you guys have 12 in your training camp right now. I know some other teams only have 11 on their rosters. Some have, 10 in camp or even less. What type of advantage do you think it'll be in the beginning of the season that you'll have 12 players to run out there in these first few games as everybody's still working their way back into the game of basketball?
Well, we're no longer in the training camp mindset. This is the 12 we have, and we're rolling. And we're getting everybody up to speed that wasn't here with Coach Fish last year. So it's no longer training camp for us, regardless of where we are on the schedule. Like, we're rolling. This is the 12.
Time for 2 quick more. We'll bounce back to Miriam.
Hey, Riquna. So who made the tacos on Sunday? And then also, is there anyone who's surprised you with how they showed up? Just like either being in really good shape or added something to their game or just something you didn't know about?
Chelsea and her wife made the tacos. I think we've been trying to do at least one person like once a month or whatever weekend or day we have off, that person decide what we're going to do for team bonding. So Chelsea and her wife picked Taco Sunday. Far as like everybody coming ready and prepared, like we're all on the same page and everybody is equally working and getting up shots before doing weight room stuff. So everybody is really in one accord.
All right, I don't see any more hands. Thank you so much, Riquna.
No problem. Thank you, guys.
All right.
Oh, there we go.
All right.
All right, Sophia, I see you. There we go.
All right, we'll start with Miriam Swanson, LA Daily News.
Spirits, and then also I guess you guys.
I can't hear you. Sorry.
Sorry, the audio is a little bit off. Miriam, let me try one more time. You try one more time from the top.
All right, so I just wanted to ask about Taco Sunday. The importance of events like that for your team.
Taco Sunday was cool. We had a great time, played some games. We did a little bit of a spelling bee. So we tested people's ability to spell. It went it was okay. But it was overall pretty good just to get everybody in one place, you know, off the court and kind of just have fun with it. But it was good kind of team bonding experience.
John W. Davis, Winsider.
Hey, Chelsea, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. First of all, I wanted to say definitely enjoyed, your answers and your energy during media day. I thought you did a great job.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I wanted to ask you, so over or under, you got 22 games, over or under 22 no-look passes?
Oh, man. I probably have more than 22, honestly.
And and if I could continue, what is the mindset on, like, again, as you continue to grow in the league, like when to do it and when not to?
I think that's been like the challenging factor the last 3 years or so of when to be able to do it, time to score, all that, and be able to pick my spots. I want to have a lot better assist to turnover ratio this year. But I think that also comes with, the mindset of, not having to do it all of the time and making the simple play. And that's something that I'm trying to improve on. You see like a little bit of a window, and if it's too late, not to really chance it. So just having that balance out there of when to pick my spots, when to actually do that, I think is key.
Tukni with the LA Times.
So going back to Taco Sunday, Coach Fisher's talked a lot about kind of the importance of relationship building. So just having those types of things, how important are those for the season, for you guys going into the season, but also what words were in the spelling bee? Were they basketball words or just random dictionary words?
No, there were so I researched like 10 to 15 words that were commonly misspelled. And some of them got it, some of them didn't. We split up in teams. And there were words like accommodate, immediately. Let me think of another one. Inconvenience, conscientious, right? So those kind of words that we say all the time, but we're just like, wait a minute, without our phones, can we really spell these words? And it's kind of fun and a joke a little bit, but also I feel like I'm, mental focus, helping people's mental. So it was just fun and a different type of game instead of like the same games. Is what I wanted kind of to do. And it was pretty good, and people had fun with it. People were engaged, so it was just fun and games, and people loved the food, so that was also a plus.
Who won the spelling bee?
Dang, who won the spelling bee? It was a team. I can't remember the team off the top of my head, but it was a team. It was good, though. It was close. It was close. It was real close. Yeah.
Go to Leah Socondo is going to be one of our broadcasters this year on non-ESPN games.
Thanks for your time. As far as what you guys did today in practice, can you kind of take us through what you did and give me a grade on how you think you did today?
For today, I think we put in some new things offensively and defensively. Actually got our reps, got some shooting in to be able to prepare that we're less than a week out from our first game. We playing on Saturday. We got to be mentally prepared, physically prepared, but also knowing the terminology, everybody be on the court, getting that camaraderie. So I think today was mostly about implementing some new things, working defensive schemes, not in particular Phoenix, a little bit of Phoenix stuff, but also just, having the terminology, getting those reps of guarding pick and roll, guarding staggers, guarding handoffs, all those types of things that every team is going to do. But we did focus a little bit on Phoenix, on certain movements, but today was defensive effort, but also implementing some new offenses and some different flow opportunities and mix and matching the matchups and the people out there on the floor. So it was good.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's good for tonight. Thank you so much, Chelsea.
Thank you, everybody.
All right, questions for Kristine and Anigwe. We will start with Delmy Barrias. Delmy, you with us? Okay. I'll go over to John W. Davis with Winsider. John?
Yes, I got you. Hi, Kristine. If
Hey,
you
how
have
are you?
I'm doing well. If you have an opportunity to scrimmage this week, what are you looking forward to accomplishing personally in those scrimmages?
Just building team chemistry, getting a lot of rebounds, finishing, and just getting a win, honestly, like getting that confidence before our first game this weekend.
We'll go to Tukni with the LA Times.
Chelsea just told us you guys haven't really gotten into Phoenix quite yet, but so far, at this point in the week, knowing that you'll be playing them first on Saturday, what do you know about them and the roster? What kind of challenges could they present to you guys?
Definitely, Phoenix is a really good team. They're very talented, and we're just trying to get our own chemistry working, like working together, and we understand the importance of this game. So I think for us, we're just staying focused on ourselves and knowing they're a talented team and just trying to be the best versions of our own selves for right now.
Miriam Swanson, LA Daily News. See if that audio is a little better this time.
Hey, Kristine.
Hey,
So the other day, Brittany Griner said that you and she had talked things through, and that you guys actually had worked out together and done some runs in the Phoenix area.
Yeah, we
Can you
did.
tell us about that?
Yeah, it was cool. We definitely have we're cool. We're able to play 5-on-5. We were able to talk before that and build not. I'm sorry, awkward question, but we're cool.
We'll end with one more question. We'll go to John W. Davis with Winsider.
Hi, Kristine. Yes, I was going to ask again what Miriam was talking about. So you were able to meet up because, that was unfortunately, that was one of the biggest stories of the year in the WNBA was that skirmish or fight or whatever you want to. Well, first of all, how do you define it? Because some people say it was a fight. Some people just say it was kind of like a mix up. How do you define it? And then again, kind of talk about, everything being squashed before you go into this game, and you're not necessarily, nobody's looking for revenge against each other or anything like that.
I'm definitely just trying to win the game, and I feel like winning the game will just speak volumes. And obviously, she is a really good athlete and just a player in general. So I'm really excited to play against her. I have no bad blood with her, so it'll just be like playing anybody else in the league.
All right. Thank you, Kristine. We'll start with Tukni with the LA Times.
Hey, Coach, we were just talking with Chelsea and Riquna about Taco Sunday. And considering how much you've talked about the importance of building relationships, how important are those types of events, and what kind of other maybe out of the box, out of the ordinary team bonding events have occurred so far, and how do you think they've gone?
I think they're very important to team and group success, that you can have some moments that allow you to see each other more as human beings than as teammates only. One of the positives I think of kind of living this campus lifestyle is that type of experience, right? Where instead of, the ladies being at home, with family and other responsibilities and things that typically pull teams apart during the season, they in some ways have no choice but to rely on hanging with each other, getting to know each other, spending time with one another. And so those things are important. It happened organically. I think it was Chelsea's call, to my understanding, to make it happen. But the team they've been communicating together very often. So we're not privileged enough to see what goes on in their group chat. So I'm sure they have some other stuff planned that we have no idea about.
John W. Davis, Winsider.
Hey, Coach, how's it going?
Good. How you doing, John?
Doing well. I can ask you about something that you should know the plans for. Can you talk to me about if you plan on scrimmaging this week with any other teams? And if you do, what would you like to accomplish by doing that?
I mean, as of now, we may not, really get the opportunity to. We reached out to a few teams about possibly doing that tomorrow, and I think a couple of teams already had, teams they were scheduled to go against, and a few other teams are, they're supposed to get back to us, but we may not get a chance to do that as a group. But I think we've been in a bit of an advantageous position in terms of having 11 and 12 players in training camp compared to a number of other teams that only have 9 players. A couple of teams have been down to 8 or 7 on a lot of days. So scrimmages are really their only way to get any 5-on-5 or even 4-on-4 type of activities. So we've been fortunate enough to get some of that in our own practices without having to play other teams. And, we'll see how it works. It's obviously not the perfect scenario, but we're better off with all of our players being available on Saturday than not. And I don't know how I would feel if Candace or Nneka or Chelsea Bay, somebody went down, with an ankle sprain in a scrimmage that didn't really, mean that much and probably wouldn't move us that far ahead. Like, no matter what we try to do between now and Saturday, these ladies have not played basketball since last season. And some of them played overseas a little bit of Team USA, but it's going to take a while before we look like we know exactly what we're doing, which goes back to the tacos. It's because if you care about the person next to you, you won't watch them struggle, right? You'll be there for them. You'll still find a way to help them be successful. And we're going to have to rely on a lot of that until we get some conditioning and timing and rhythm.
Over to Leah Socondo.
Hi, Coach. If you could just kind of elaborate on that a little bit more on practice today and getting the rhythm and what you felt you accomplished today in practice, and give it a grade or however you want to size it up.
Yeah, no, I mean, grade-wise, it was, for me personally, it was probably just okay. I don't know. C is the best, it's right in the middle. The players were A, but as a coach, you don't want to kill your team sweat sometimes, if it's going good. And if you try to teach a little too much, or you try to, introduce a few things that kind of cools them off, especially for some of our veterans, that happens quick. So, so for myself, I feel like I could have tried to keep it going a little more in terms of activity with a few things we were working on. But it was important for us to introduce a few things, make sure we have some connection on, out of bounds situations, some of the things we want to do in the half court to start the season. And so, we wanted to introduce some of those things, and it was important to do. We'll get a chance to come back tomorrow and have a great practice in terms of, high intensity. And then we'll see where everybody is as far as what we do Thursday and in preparation for Friday in terms of being kind of shoot around, because our game is at 3 p.m. on Saturday.
Time for 2 more tonight. We'll go over to Delmy Barrias.
Hey, Coach. Good to see you. Shifting gears a little bit, big news coming out of LA this morning as pro women's soccer is returning to LA. As someone like yourself who's been a part of the sports culture here in LA, how do you think that this could potentially evolve that culture in the city, and how do you think that it could help elevate women's sports?
Yeah, no, I was excited actually when that popped up. It was breaking news earlier today. Yeah, really excited that the ownership group, typically ownership groups are not that large in terms of the number of people that they have listed as part of the group. But I liked it and love it because of how many women are involved in the ownership group, right? It's one thing to bring National Women's Soccer League team to LA, but if it's not really led by women and run by women and women making decisions about how players are going to be treated, the culture of the organization, et cetera, then, we're just doing more of the same thing in a sense. So I was excited about it. Congratulations to everybody involved. Assuming they don't play the same day we play, I'll be there. whenever the season starts. And I think it's a great thing. The sports culture in LA has evolved tremendously over the last several years. And I think as a city, we should be proud to have a team of women that can represent LA. It is one of the most diverse cities in the world. And young girls and women in LA and all around the world need to see women in powerful positions, owning businesses, owning sports teams, being excellent on the court, making decisions in the boardroom. I have 2 daughters. I want them to not only, if they want to be great athletes, cool, but if they also want to own a sports team, then, you know, we need to support these type of teams to make sure they have a chance to be successful, and you know, do concrete action things that will make a difference. So whatever I can do to help, whether it's going to games, you know, hopefully there are things that we can do in terms of cross promotion. You know, we're no longer the only professional sports women's team in LA. And, you know, for a long time, we're the only sports women's team, professional team in California, period. So we're happy to have this kind of company. And, you know, hopefully our fans will go to their games and their fans will come to our games.
Tell me you had a very quick follow-up.
Yes, just on that note, so I'm assuming you'd be open for some type of collaboration or partnership if it came down to that?
Yeah, I mean, if they need me to get out there and show them how to kick a soccer ball around and do some head touches and things, you know, count me in. In terms of cross promotions and collaborations, that's for Eli, Natalie, and Danita, and everybody back at the office. And you know, they just tell me where to show up. So that's probably as much as I could say there, but definitely open to it. I think it's important. Oftentimes, you know, women get pitted against women in a sense, right? Competing for the same things, the same space. And as we work to create more space within the media landscape to cover women, to tell great stories, and we have to support what they're doing in order to have it make sense. And then when we put that energy into the world, into what they're doing, then it comes back to the Sparks, and it's win-win for everybody.
Last question over to Miriam Swanson, LA Daily News.
Hi, Derek. Hey, so I just wanted to check in and see how Kristine has looked in the first bit here. I know it sounds like she's learning a lot from Candace.
Yeah, no, Kristine is what you call the prototypical basketball sponge. Like, she literally is nonstop calling coaches, calling teammates. She wants to watch film. She wants to come back and shoot at night. She wants to go over early and shoot. She wants to watch film before COVID testing, after COVID testing, after lunch, after practice. It's been a joy to work with her. You know, she's learning a lot. This is her 3rd team in 1 year, basically. So, you know, try for a young player having 3 different ways of doing things, you know, going on in your brain. And that's a lot. And so she's trying to absorb as much as possible. That typically slows people down when they're overthinking. So what we're really trying to do as much as possible with Kristine and all of our players, you know, that are new to our group especially, is to give them enough information to provide a foundation, but not take away their natural gifts and abilities and talents that already exist. And I think that's important for all basketball players, and possibly Kristine more than anybody on our team, because of how gifted she is without you telling her to do anything. And if we can find ways to help her and help her fit into what we do, I think she can provide tremendous value for us.
All right, thank you so much, Coach.
All right, thanks everybody.